Welcome back to Around the Association. And today, like I said, we're going to do the New York Knicks. So, the Knicks is a weird one because I know when I started this series, I said not every episode is going to be the same. And there's going to be teams that I don't have much to talk about. And for those who watched that episode, you probably were thinking, oh, teams like the Brooklyn Nets, the Sacramento Kings, teams that aren't going to be the Milwaukee Bucks, for example, teams that aren't going to be good, teams that don't have a lot of promise or anything. I'm not going to talk about too much. That kind of remained the case, two playoff caliber teams that talked about first off rip. And now we're talking about the NBA champion New York Knicks. And I have no idea how long this video is going to be, but I don't think it's going to be all that long because the Knicks didn't change much and we know they're good. So, yeah, let's get into it. So, the Knicks, they just re signed Jordan Clarkson the other day. And as for departures, as really their only re-sign that I can remember, they lost Huck Bordy and Mitchell Robinson, two pretty big things, but they replaced them with Andre Drummond, and so Andre Drummond is back to Cat. So yeah, there's not too much to think of there. That's kind of all they did. I think Andre Drummond's going to play a very similar role to Mitchell Robinson. I know he's old, but Andre Drummond is one of the greatest rebounders of our generation. So I think the Knicks team probably won't miss a beat, though. Like I've been saying, they're going to be a top seed. What I'm interested in is how they're going to be doing their offense because a lot of their offense, especially in the playoffs, was ran through Cat. It sounded weird because I was trying to say Carl Anthony Towns and Cat at the same time. But a lot of it was ran through Cat, right? As the hub. And they kind of figured that out in the playoffs. We didn't really see much of that at all in the regular season. And I wonder if they're going to be doing that. And I know, especially in the later rounds of the Cavs and in the Spurs series, we didn't see Cat as the hub much. It was more of a team effort, and Jalen Brunson started to, do Jalen Brunson things. It was kind of a weaker playoff run from Jalen Brunson up until game 5. We had conversations about OG and Anunoby being the MVP, and I'm very interested to see if OG can continue this leap that he had in the playoffs. Because in the playoffs, he averaged around 25 a game, and he was really looking like Kawhi Leonard out there. And I'm interested. Can he make his first All Star appearance? Can the Knicks have 3 All Stars? Cat, OG, and Brunson. Hell, could they have 4 if Mikal Bridges looked like he did in the playoffs? You never know. And I'm very interested to see what they do and how they try to maintain their playoffs. Talked to one of my Knicks fans' friends and I asked him, "What do you want to see from the Knicks aside from really just like trying to win the championship next year, obviously?" And he didn't really have all that much to say. He was like, "Just do what they do and come up with new schemes for each matchup," which Mike Brown seems to be really good at, and he probably learned a lot of that from Steve Kerr. I I have a love hate relationship with Steve Kerr, but I can really say he is really good at drawing up schemes, and so that's yeah. Gotta say that there's probably some of that in the pipeline there. Saw some of that with the 23 Kings as well with the light the beam season. So yeah, I think the Knicks really have a very promising season. Duh, they just won a fucking championship. I don't really know why I said that. But yeah, there's not much to say. You could say, oh, maybe Tyler Kolek takes a leap this year, or maybe one of their other guys becomes more of the rotation, but they don't really need to. Maybe they're gonna try to get more guys involved and do more rotations throughout the regular season to save the guys for the playoffs and save their schemes for the playoffs. But I think the Knicks are really gonna try to get that 1 seed this year. I doubt they wanted to be on the road as much as they were. Actually, they weren't all the way until the finals. Never mind. I'm talking out of my ass right now. But, maybe next year they got Philly to deal with. They got Boston to deal with again. They got Indiana back. I think they're going to be really trying to get that 1 seed because I don't think they want to play Indiana again, not being the higher seed. So yeah, there's a lot of things that could go wrong here, could go right. Not really could go wrong. I feel like the Knicks pretty without pretty certain without injuries, the Knicks are going to be a top 3 seed in the East. I would honestly bet top 2. Don't know what Philly's going to look like. I assume really good. So don't want to bet 1, but yeah, injuries aside, they shouldn't be lower than 2 unless some other team just takes a giant leap. Tyrese Halliburton looks better than ever, and his connection with Oubre and Zubats and Siakam is at an all-time high. Nemhard is still there, and Naismith. But this is not a Pacers episode, so yeah. Anyways, the Knicks just kind of keep doing what you're doing. I know this might seem like I'm just jipping out of the episode, but there's not much to talk about with the Knicks. They just won the championship. Do it again. They didn't really make any big like signings or anything. They kind of just lost some guys and replaced them with slightly worse guys, but they're not, that pivotal enough to where their championship odds are just stricken. And although Mitchell Robinson is super important to that team, he's not he's not the NLBO. It's not untouchable that he's gone. It's not the end of the world, and I don't want to say he's replaceable, but you can still win a championship without him. But yeah, anyways, that was the next episode. I will be doing the Brooklyn Nets tomorrow. Probably will be just as short as an episode. This is running on 7 minutes right now, so I'm just gonna let that hit 7 minutes. So yeah. Thank you guys for watching, and Nets fans tune in tomorrow, and then we'll talk about the Raptors after that. See ya.